Marilyn K. Dorlac. I want to get cooking something. Something special is called a wonderful recipe that I just made up. Oh my goodness. And what it is going to, I hope you enjoy it. It is called Oriental Spicy Crispy Chicken. And it's got cornmeal on it. It's a crusty crust, and you eat it and it just makes you feel all good. Let's go do that, okay? Okay, hold on. First of all, I would like to get my chicken out. And I would like to show you guys. Basically, this is what you're going to start with, is your chicken breast. It's been washed, and you're going to start with, I always like to start with, I washed it really good, and you're going to start slicing it in little pieces like this, and this is how I like to do it. I like to get it in deboned, because then you can always just kind of take it and chop it up later on and make some fajitas out of it and things like that, and it just tastes so good when you do that. You can save some of it for another day even. But this is my special way of cooking my Oriental meal. So you cut it in little pieces like this, and you just take it like that, and you just cut it so that you have enough, because if it's for 6 people, or 8 people, or 10 people, this should be enough. And then you put it right back in your little bowl here, like this. And I always like to just take one last little washing, because I like to get all the rest of the little stuff off of it, and you just rinse it just a little bit more, and that way you know that you get it very, very, very clean. Okay, so then you take a little, now, this is what I do with my chicken here, is that I get my skillet, which is already positioned over here on the stove. I like to turn my I like to turn my skillet up a little bit, and I like to use olive oil, and I like to use a little bit of butter. Just a little bit of butter. And you can take that, and you can put 2 tablespoons of butter in there, and you just get started with that, and you put just about 2 or 3, because I like the flavor of butter, and watching your weight and everything, I like to use a little bit of olive oil, and you just let that little puppy go. You just let it go and let it fill up your skillet, and you just have a grand good old time here. And you let the oil get hot. Now, olive oil is at its best when it's peaking, and you know it's ready when it starts making that little crackly noise. So I make sure it stays on high when you first start adding it to your skillet. Now, this oil is going to get pretty hot. It's going to get pretty hot here. And you don't care about that, because you know that you're going to guard it with your lid. You're going to put your lid on the top of it so that it doesn't splash and burn you up. Don't want any accidents. Okay. Now, we've got almost all that oil in there. You have about half a bottle of olive oil, opposed to that other cooking oil, which burns me a whole lot faster and it gets a whole lot hotter, but it splashes and burns a whole lot more. This oil is a lot better for your heart, and it's a whole lot better for you. Now, you get the butter in here, and you start it going, and you just stir around the butter to let it mix with the oil real good, and that way it breaks it down. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to get your herbs going. Now, I use my secret herb recipe right here. And I know some of you want to know what it is. You'll have a chance to find out pretty soon. Now, I like to use lots of seasoning herbs to mix this with. And you just take it and you just mix it in there really good and throw it around in there Make sure all of it is coated really, really good. And it's just, you hear my oil? I told you. It doesn't start cooking. So what you do is you put the lid on it to protect it. Just put the lid halfway on it so that it won't steam yet. You don't want that. Now you take your garlic and you put that all the way on there. That's why I said, see, I don't use any kind of a measuring stick. Hold on just a minute. Let me get to that just a little bit. Turn it down just a tad because you don't want it to cook too high, too fast. Then I got a little bit of my special ingredient here. And you take it and you just sprinkle it a little bit on there. This gives it a real good powwow. But this is my secret ingredient here. It has a little sweet in it. It has a little tang. Then you take and you add to that a little bit of onion powder. Ooh, a little bit lower on that side, I guess. Okay. Now, you're going to add a little bit of garlic and onion powder to this, and we're almost ready. Okay? And the last ingredient, we're going to put everything in here.